We did it, Anthony. We are on the go. We are on the road at the incredible Mohegan Sun Resort. How's it feeling?
No, I'm in my bedroom.
What an incredible background that is. No, guys, we're really here. All right, and welcome to the show today.
I can't hear you.
Yes, you
Our producer
can.
just did something. Now I
No,
can hear you.
Oh, thank goodness, man. What a great way to start the show with you not hearing me. So, guys, you have been looking at all of my different backgrounds last week on green screen, but I can verify this is real. This is actually happening. We're up in the woods of Connecticut, Anthony. How's it feel to be broken out of your house for a little bit?
It's fantastic. And let me explain to everyone. The reason I'm sitting very low is so you can see that incredible background. That's real. When I sat that down, I thought that was a green screen.
Right?
I was like,
he's
wow.
there. All right. So I just want everybody to know we started off the show with masks because, of course, they do have the mask wearing policy here. But we happen to be in the Vista Lounge where you are allowed to take them off from time to time when you're having a cocktail. Now, Anthony and I are in the same place, but we're actually on different levels. Anthony, you're up there in the second level. And I'm down here on the first level, both overlooking the resort. So what was it like coming up here to the Mohegan Sun Resort for you, Anthony?
Well, I was on conference calls the whole time,
Right.
and then I wasn't thinking about it. And as soon as I pulled in, everything was perfect.
Right.
Everybody was wearing a mask. There was clear glass between me and the
Right.
desk agent. In the elevator, there are stickers in each corner. So, 4 people per elevator. Every single person was wearing a mask. As soon as I closed the door to my room, it was perfectly clean. There was a note telling me what the expectations were, and that there will be no housekeeping and no turn down when I leave. I mean, while I'm there.
While you're there.
Right.
That would be
Amazing.
something if they weren't going to do it when you leave.
Right. That would be a problem.
Yeah. All right. Donna Burns loves Mohegan Sun. Of course you do, Donna, because this is a great resort up here. For those of you who don't know, up above us, let me go take a look up above. That is a planetarium dome that's here. I believe it's still the largest planetarium dome in North America. And this whole area here was designed by David Rockwell. Really beautiful, really on point, honors the Mohegan tribe history and all. I just love the good vibes at this resort, Anthony.
Is it bigger than Hayden Planetarium?
Yes, the dome itself is bigger than Hayden Planetarium. That's
Are
why
you
I said the
kidding me?
biggest in North America. No, man, not at all.
Wow, that's cool.
I know. They could do some really cool shows in here. One of the things that I like is it goes through the day. So right now, if I'm looking above us, it's nighttime. But throughout the day, it'll change. I saw a satellite going overhead before, which was really funny.
Well, when I was at Hayden Planetarium, when I was in, say, college,
Right.
we were having other things besides popcorn and soda when we were watching the lights. And It
Right.
was a crazy experience.
Right, totally. Kimberly, I owe you an email. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to get back to you, but that's because I'm here. So, Anthony, it's so great to be out and about. I love that you felt really comfortable when you first checked into the hotel. One thing you didn't mention is they are doing temperature checks of people. They're just doing it in that subtle way that Wynn Las Vegas was doing it last
really?
month. Yeah, man. Every entrance you walk in, it's there. You saw the security guard there, right?
I didn't notice him.
Right. That's why it's pretty awesome. What they do here is they direct you to go into a specific way, right? So they split the crowd, half leaving, half entering. And when you go through that entryway, there are the temperature machines above your head and a monitor with the security guy not near it, so you can't really tell what's going on. I like those kinds of things.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it because I just wondered if everybody's going to wear a mask, and they were, and I was good.
Right. Colleen says she loves the backgrounds. Colleen, it's real. We're actually here.
Hey, Jeff, can you give me the other shot? I feel like I can't even see myself. There you go. I like that one much better.
I know we get to see you more, but we see the resort less. And look at that, I got a whole lot of stuff going on in my eyes today. Let me take off the glasses there. So so in a few minutes we're going to be having join us Jeff Hamilton. He's the president and general manager of this resort. If you checked out our podcast last July on Checking In with Anthony and Glenn, we spoke to Ray Pinault, who was the president and GM then. He's got promoted not once but twice since then, Anthony. And he's working for the parent company now as their COO. What a great thing! Twice in a year.
Since COVID, or since last time I saw him, I got demoted twice.
No, just once. I thought you were already doing the show with me. You know. Hey, Chad, I'm glad that you like the background over there. Glad to see you're watching the show as well.
Is he a fan? Who is Chad?
Yeah.
Who is that guy?
I think we're going to have a call with him a little bit later in the day to see what's going on with him.
Matter of fact, if you want to buy advertising on our show, Chad McCall, make the call.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so we're getting really close to having some great sponsors be joining us, but I want to thank all of you for watching today. So, Anthony, you're also going to be doing a show at 3 o'clock, but are you going to have a chance, you think, to hang out and enjoy the resort overnight tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay, but it really depends. My wife's not so comfortable with me staying at the hotel, but I am so far, and depending on what time my day gets done, depends on what I do, because I got up early this morning. Now, one of the things I will tell you, the most important thing we can do for our country is spend money and travel.
That's right.
When I worked in the hotel, I would have turned around if I didn't feel safe. I felt unbelievably safe.
Right.
And that's what it's about. And then I got comfortable. And then I was walking around, and I'm like, am I in a movie? We're all going about our lives, and we all have masks on.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it. And that's what's really important. There's a lot of people still concerned. Wear a mask, social distance, travel.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, the first time I traveled, I felt really weird. And, we talked about this on the show before, and I said the biggest hump to getting to travel is to actually get out there and travel. And now, Anthony, I got to ask you, now that you've gotten over the hump, now that you've had a chance to face that anxiety head on and come here, it sounds like you're feeling a lot more comfortable and ready to get back to it if possible.
I'll be honest with you. I am extraordinarily comfortable and extraordinarily uncomfortable. What does that mean? My fuse is very small. Mm-hmm. If you do it wrong, or if you get in my face without a mask, I'm going to be very uncomfortable. Right. So that's the problem. Right. And we got to get over that. So I feel good. Everybody's got to pay attention. And if they don't, we got a problem.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So what I found really interesting is the volume of people here. And I got to be honest with you, Anthony, I thought that there weren't going to be that many people heading out to a casino gaming resort that's all indoors. But again, the space is huge. It's cavernous, so I'm not worried about the air circulating, especially because everybody's wearing masks. But didn't that surprise you to see it like so many people here? Last night was pretty darn crowded here at this resort.
I'll tell you, so far, I noticed there's a lot of people. Yep. And I didn't feel like there's a lot of people. I didn't feel uncomfortable.
Right. So get this. This is going to totally blow you away. But when they reopened the resort, since then, in the first 50 days of reopening, Anthony, gaming revenue here at Mohegan Sun is up 20% year over year from a similar period last year. $106.15 million versus $88.4 million.
Did you see what happened? I was blown away.
Right. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? So
it's amazing.
Yeah. So the resort is saying that some of the reasons why that might be is, some of the others may not have been open. Their competition in the area. They have, a resort that's 20 minutes down the road. There's one about an hour in Massachusetts. And then, of course, you've got the other one outside of Boston as well. But it seems like these safety implementations are really working well with making customers strong and extricating that important money from their wallet.
Or, like me, who's a poker player, I got some money in my pocket, and it's burning a hole.
Right.
So I will be spending that money today.
I got to tell you, Anthony, there's a lot of people here who you could tell really needed to get out and get their fix in a great casino resort like this one.
Absolutely. And since we've been here before, I felt safe, and I knew they would do it right. So let's talk to the man.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting for Jeff Hamilton to come on to the line. He was at a meeting, so he might be running a couple of minutes late, but he should be here any second. And
No,
then
when I
we'll...
meant the man, I meant Kazoo.
Oh.
Kazoo, you ready? Kazoo's got his mask on. We're ready.
All right, you're gonna go mobile.
Let's go mobile. If we don't have a guest, let's go.
All right, so I want everybody to know we've got Anthony set up on a special rig that we put together, so he could go mobile. So we're gonna bring that on. David, are you set up with? Is David set up with the mobile? I don't see him backstage yet.
He's backstage.
I don't think so.
I see him.
Oh, there he is. Boom! He just popped on.
Okay. We ready to go?
Oh wait, you know who's coming, Anthony?
Okay.
Before we go on the go, look who's here. Jeff Hamilton.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you, Mr. President? How's it going?
It's going good. Does my audio sound okay?
You
Sounds
sound
great.
absolutely terrific. Now, we could have had him here with us, but we wanted to keep the social distancing guidelines going on because we could have a good, fun, open conversation. So he's reporting to us from the office today. So Anthony and I were just having a little very clever banter going back and forth with each other. And Anthony was saying how comfortable he felt here with all the protocols in here. And he was just about to take us on the go because he wants to show off some of the resort.
It's amazing. I feel very safe as soon as I walked in. And to me, the employees are going to do the right thing. But so far, every guest is doing the right thing. And that was make me feel comfortable. Thank you.
So
sorry, I lost you guys there for a second. I think it's the
frozen.
You're a little hold on. You hang tight. I'm going to take you out.
I just thought he wasn't
back
blinking.
in. Yeah, I don't know. He seems to be having some sort of issue there.
Better?
Can do this from 1,000 miles away.
Can't see you at all. Can't see you at all.
Let me try.
Oh. All right, Anthony. We were going to get you on the go now.
Okay.
All right. So, no, we got him. We got you on there. We got you at. Whoop, now that camera's gone. David, as soon as you get that set, whoa, we are set.
Let's go.
How about that, guys?
Excellent. Excellent. So Anthony is going to take us on a little tour, Jeff. Maybe you could highlight some of the things that you're going on, and we could have some great conversation going back and forth.
First correction: we don't use social distancing here. We use physical distancing.
Sorry, we try to say that too, honestly, because we want people to be social. We want people to get out. We want people to have fun. We just want them to do it in a smart, safe sort of way. Ooh.
I'm excited for this tour.
Yeah, I am too. We're gonna see if they could pull it together.
I'm good.
All right, Anthony, you ready?
There
we go. Now we're on the go.
No.
We can hear you, Anthony. You can't hear us.
So I'm going to take a little trip. You guys talk, and when I want to talk, I'll stop and I'll interrupt you guys.
All right, excellent. So while he gets moving, Jeff, let me ask you. You've been with the resort since 2004. Last summer, you became president and general manager after Ray got promoted up to the parent company. What has this journey been like for you as a professional? You know, growing up within this organization, and now, holy crud, it's all yours.
I was only promoted in January, so it was about 7 weeks pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and it's been a trying time. But you know, we just have a tremendous team here. You know, a lot of people that have worked here for a really long time, and you know, have great camaraderie. We always support each other, so that's been beneficial as we've gotten through this. So I've learned on the job. You know, I don't think anyone could be prepared for COVID and you know what's happened, but I'm really, really proud of just the effort that our team has put in.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Anthony, how's it working over there for you right now?
I can't hear a word you're saying, but okay. So I'm overlooking the casino floor. I'm not allowed to go on the casino floor right now, but I could.
Right. And I want to say
it doesn't look crowded at all.
Right.
But there's a lot of people in this building, and the energy of the building, you still hear some of the noise of the casino floor. You hear the music. You just feel the vibe, and it's so good after 4 months of being away from casinos and this kind of big hotel. And we know what's going to happen to a lot of the big convention hotels. There's going to be a problem next year or two, but a hotel like this is going to be fine because they have such a great reputation and they have just a great spirit of this hotel. So I'm really excited to know that the percentage of revenue is up over last year, and that there's people here. And again, you got to be safe. I look a little silly with the mask on, but now if I don't have the mask on, I look silly. So it's just great. So you guys keep talking, I'll keep walking.
All right, so you took over the job in January of this year, got thrust right into the craziest situation that all of us have ever been through in our entire lives. How were you able to grapple with this, cope with this, and shepherd everybody through to the incredible reopening to fill up the house once again?
A lot of drinking. No.
Yeah, you should see my my COVID beer belly that I put on. It's not pretty.
You know what? I think, the first thing that we did, just was communicate and start thinking about reopening right away. So,
Right.
we didn't wait once we closed. We saw that, the environment was changing. We really heard from our health experts that this was going to go on for a long period of time. So we started to think about every aspect of our business and, how we could address it and create a safe environment. And we're lucky enough here that, we have a health department that's on site that, we could work directly with, and really just went through our whole customer journey and evaluated every aspect of our business. How does COVID impact this? Can we open it? And if we can open it, how do we do so safely? And we just spent a lot of our time, during our quarantine thinking about every single aspect of our business, and ways to make it safer. And then, looked at what other companies were doing. Because I think American ingenuity really comes out in situations like this where, you have to think about delivering service or delivering products or delivering whatever your business is differently.
Right.
So really looking at not just in our industry, hospitality, but what were other industries doing? What were airlines doing? What were production companies doing to keep their factories safe? And then how can we translate that to Mohegan Sun? So really just spent a lot of time planning, and then got the team re-engaged, and really have spent a lot of time adjusting because we didn't know what was going to happen when we opened, and we've created a really, really great safety plan, but we're constantly making adjustments to it based upon customer feedback, based upon team member feedback.
Right.
With the core being, making sure we're keeping the people that are here safe, both team members and guests.
Right, absolutely. And that's the whole thing with these policies and procedures. You can't expect everybody to have absolutely all the answers right away because we've never been through this before. So it is a learning curve that we're all going through. And we're talking about this all the time on the show, and I see a lot of the companies exchanging information behind the scenes. Now, of course, it's important for people to understand that this is just one resort that you operate within the resort family. Wait, Anthony is back. Anthony, you ready to give us a little tour?
For you?
What's that?
Is that loud?
No, it's perfect.
Did you hear the waterfall?
We can hear you.
Did you hear the waterfall?
No.
Oh, that's good. I do.
Yes.
And it just feels good to hear noise again.
That waterfall's very loud.
That's open.
Yeah. So, what are we looking at? Yeah, look at that. Man, Jeff, that is like one of the most impressive entryways with the Chihuly right there, the glass sculpture. There's a restaurant behind that area. And there he is. Look at that great view, Anthony.
You should see that on New Year's Eve, what that looks like with, 25,000 people in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah. I was here last July for a couple of concerts, and the energy in this resort before and after a concert is absolutely amazing. Yeah.
We're looking forward to getting back to those times, definitely.
You and me both, my friend. I really would like to. I would really like to see it. So, so everybody knows Mohegan operates other resorts around the company. They manage. You manage resorts down in Atlantic City, and you guys are going to be operating a property in Las Vegas through our good friends over at Virgin Hotels. We've had Raul on the show a couple of times, Raul Leal, the CEO. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to be doing over there in regards to that casino gaming floor and getting to be a part of it. And one of the things that I love about what the Mohegan tribe has done is they really expanded into other areas. Do you still have that racetrack in Pennsylvania as well?
Yes, we do. Yep, Mohegan Sun Pocono is
Pocono Downs, right?
Open. Yep, we're open there in full operation.
Right, awesome. Anthony, let's hear a report from you, sir.
Okay, so I'm in the lobby. You saw the sign. Let's go back to the sign. I love the sign. It says, be social, be safe. Don't go to the crowd. In other words, physical distance, but don't social distance. Let's still have a communication. So I love that sign. It's very clear. It's very clean. It's very easy to read. Now I want to go see where they're taking the temperature.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and Jeff, you missed it at the beginning of the show, but Anthony didn't even know that they were doing the temperature check because I had to tell him, you guys are doing it so well, so subtle, so out of the way from interfering people's experiences, you didn't even notice it.
It's been a struggle for us, though. Just to provide some feedback on that is, we bought state-of-the-art technology. Really is not invasive at all. Allows you to just flow through the property easily. But people question us sometimes, like they didn't check my temperature before they arrived, and it's part of their plan. So we've tried to improve our communication around you are getting your temperature checked. But some of our guests have commented that they felt like they weren't getting their temperature checked. So we've had to improve our communication since our opening. That's one of the adjustments that we've had to make.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting because you're doing it so well, people didn't even realize it was happening, right?
Right.
So some of the things that we have to try to do in this world is find that right balance between what's going to be visible and what's not. All right, Anthony's ready to come back in. Anthony, welcome back, sir.
So I'm at the front door, and I didn't notice the temperature check because it's so subtle.
We were just talking about that.
Now
yes.
I'm going to go take my temperature. I'm going to walk through, and I'm going to take the temperature.
Excellent.
Hopefully it doesn't have a temperature.
Right? That would be embarrassing. Boom, it happened. And then here's a screen where it is.
So my temperature is 97.7. This wonderful lady right here is monitoring the temperature of all the guests. So you walk in and you don't even realize you're taking a temperature. But if I had a temperature, what would you do if I had a temperature?
I would actually step aside for a moment. The supervisor would come down the street to you. He would have you walk through again. Sometimes people are just hot from being outside and stuff. We let them cool down for a moment and pass you through again.
And if people feel good about this, they're glad?
Yeah, definitely.
This is great technology. So you can basically get a whole bunch of people.
This is pretty cool.
It's awesome.
You can get a whole bunch of people. Coming through the front door and get everybody at one time. How many people can this read at one time? A bunch?
Like 4 or 5.
Wow, that's so cool. So another reason, like there's hotels, thank you so much. There's hotels that are taking your temperature and queuing you. I don't want to stand in a queue with other people while people take my temperature. I love the fact that I walked in. I wasn't even thinking about somebody taking my temperature. So the people I were thinking about, they're not thinking about it. And the people I are thinking about say, hey, why isn't anybody taking my temperature? This young lady will explain to you what they're doing. That, to me, is how we get this world open again. You got to do it right. You got to move. You got to wear a mask. You got to take our temperature, but we can still have fun. And you guys are doing it great. So you guys keep talking. I'll keep walking.
All right, excellent. So bringing back Jeff, we got a question here about marketing dollars. We'd love to know what your investment was in marketing for the relaunch. Now, I understand to get the health and safety protocols in place, you spent something like $1 million, and then you have to spend on marketing on top of that. What has that process been like for you to let the world know that you're here and open for business?
Yeah, so we actually have slowed into our marketing initiative. I would say we're working on a new brand campaign for this COVID environment now. We always host Hot Summer Fun. So Hot Summer Fun is always our big summer event. Obviously, it's Hot Summer Fun for COVID-19 this year. We're just doing a lot of promotions around the Hot Summer Fun campaign. So we always do a big launch for our Hot Summer Fun campaign. But we're in the midst of developing new brand media that we're going to launch in September that really discusses, safety guidelines, wearing a mask. There's been, some great brands that have done creative things around, getting back open for business and how they're reopening their properties and what to expect when they get there. So we're going to be planning to launch that in September, and we'll put a good amount of marketing around that to make sure people are aware that we're open. But not just open, we've created a safe environment for people to return to.
Right, makes a lot of sense. We got another question about data. Are you using facial recognition? There's no legislation on this as of yet. But right. I don't even think that gets recorded or anything. A
hot topic is facial recognition, pre-COVID. So we weren't utilizing facial recognition for any player tracking data before COVID. That's something that's been discussed a lot. There's been some legislation on that and discussions around that. I will say from a surveillance perspective, we have, one of the premier surveillance systems in the country. Obviously, we're adjusting to people wearing their masks. I think every casino and resort is adjusting to that. And looking forward, I think facial recognition, if people will accept it, could be beneficial. Where we're able to do a variety of things that makes your visitation easier. We're excited about that, but obviously the privacy component is something that we have to get our consumers comfortable with, and something over the course of the next few years we'll be
Right,
keeping an eye on.
and here comes Anthony.
So I don't want to go in the restaurant and disturb people, but you can see from here, maybe you can't, right? Keep the camera close all the time. So as you can see, that's good. So now you can see people are socially separated. At the bar, there's like 5 people, but it's very socially separated. And again, it's just so good to feel that I don't have to worry about this. The job of the hotel is to worry about the things that I don't want to worry about. What's happening in this country is that we're not doing it right. So by not doing it right, I'm constantly worried about everybody else. When you come to a hotel like this, and they're doing it right, I can feel normal. This is the most normal I have felt in 4.5 months being out in public. And I'm not saying that because I'm staying in their hotel and I got the president, that I'm talking to. Like, I just feel good. I just feel better than I've had in 4.5 months. And it's good for my mental health. It's not going to be good for my pocketbook, I guarantee you that. Because all that money's going to the casino. But it feels good. And everybody's just got to pay attention. I mean, that temperature check thing is amazing. It's perfect. Everybody wearing a mask. I've seen one person. You know what's interesting? You can't see anything, right? You can only see my eyes. And I just got noticed. The guy goes, I love Hotel Barcelona. How the hell do you know it's me? You didn't see
me. You have got a very distinct look, Anthony.
All right, I'm going to do a little walking around, and I'm going to be quiet so you can leave us on the screen.
Yep.
But we're just going to show you the hotel, and then we'll make
All right. Jeff and I are going to talk while you show us around, okay?
All right. Happened?
We're going to talk while you show us around. All right. So this is pretty awesome. I'm delighted to see how happy Anthony is and how comfortable he feels. And I got to tell you, Jeff, he really needed to get out, and we really wanted to come see you guys because I know what a great operation this is and how happy he would feel being up here. So we talked before you got on air that your gaming revenues have exploded in the 50 days since you've been open. Do you see that as a sign of encouragement for things to come, or is it just a case of pent-up demand and maybe some other resorts in the area weren't yet open?
Yeah, so I think, limited competition. I think pent-up demand, people wanting to get out. I think there's not much entertainment opportunities currently. Right. So you think about in the summer, especially in the Northeast and New England, the summer is when, this area of the country really comes alive with festivals, all types of outdoor events. There's concerts. There's just a tremendous amount of entertainment options in New England in the summer, and really all of those things are closed down. So that really has allowed us to be one of the only entertainment options. And then I think just, from overall property standpoint, I think our cleanliness and our safety plan, people feel comfortable coming here. But I think when you think about long-term success, we understand that, getting back to our core business, getting back to large entertainment events and expositions are going to be really, really important because this, what we're seeing now is not going to last forever. Our gaming revenue is up, but our non-gaming revenue is down significantly. And obviously, we're just a little bit more efficient because the number of people visiting the property is a lot less. So people are coming, the people that are coming are gaming more, but the visitation to the property is significantly reduced just because there's none of those large events. So we've been more efficient where we don't need as many people or many team members, because there's not an influx of 10,000 people coming for a show.
Right.
So really an environment that, we would never have seen under normal circumstances, and, not something that we expect to continue, for the foreseeable future. I think once we get through COVID, it's going to be very important for us to get back to, our core businesses.
All right, Anthony, you got a report?
Yeah, I'm in front of the box office. The theater's behind the sign. Are you able to use the theater yet?
It's an arena.
What's going on?
That's a 10,000-seat arena. Yeah. So we are actually using the arena right now.
I can't hear, so I'm going to get closer. Hey, go ahead and take me out of frame so I can.
Yeah.
So we are actually using the arena right now. We're hosting Bellator MMA. So they created a bubble here at Mohegan Sun, and they're doing their Friday night events here at Mohegan Sun, and then Showtime Boxing is this weekend. So it's rotating between Bellator and Showtime Boxing. There's no fans, but there is an arena event going on that's helped with our hotel rates and hotel rooms for all the people that are attending that and participating in that. we're excited to get fans back. While we're hosting events, it doesn't feel the same. But just great visibility for our brand. And, obviously it's exciting to have the arena activated, at least in this, this new COVID environment.
Well, I'll say last night the rate that people were paying was about $180 on a Wednesday night. That's pretty good. Anthony?
I love that because I've been watching UFC from Fight Island, and I was like, I don't want just UFC to be the only one in business. I want one championship, Bellator. I want everybody to be back in business. And that a hotel like this, that's what I love about resorts. That you can have somebody gamble, somebody do room service, somebody stay in a hotel, somebody just do business in their room, get away. Or you can bring a worldwide company to do fights in your arena and no one knows it, and it's a bubble. That's what I love about these kind of hotels. It's like the world comes to these hotels and you can literally have everybody doing everything and everybody's comfortable. So that's amazing. I had no idea. So Bellator's fighting in there. So if I wanted to go in that bubble, I'd have to be checked by 27 people and I wouldn't be allowed, right? Unless I was
That's right. Everyone is being tested. So you'd have to get a COVID test. You have to come back negative.
So even you couldn't go in there. So if you wanted to go in there right now, you couldn't go in.
You would not be allowed in there right now, no.
I love that. All right.
Hey, Anthony, before you go, one little fun factoid about the arena. They wanted the NBA to be able to play there, so the shower heads are like 800 feet up in the air. It's really cool.
All right.
All right, Azul, you can't hear Anthony because we don't have. He's got to shout a little louder because of the microphone issue. I got a question for you, Jeff, coming from Kyle. How is hotel revenue and ADR, and what are you doing to adjust? I just mentioned the rate that people were paying last night. Our whole mantra on the show is to try to keep those rates up because you're not going to goose demand by dropping rates too much. How do you see it here in a casino resort environment as opposed to the general hospitality industry that we talk about every day?
Yeah, we're in the same boat. We don't like to diminish our hotel rates. We built our hotel strategy on a certain rate and we don't go lower than that. I think we've gotten better from an efficiency standpoint of not dropping our rates and taking any amount of money for each room, but finding efficiency overall from an operations standpoint when you're not going to have, the high level of occupancy. And how do you create a scenario where you're able to become more efficient when your occupancy is down? We're lucky enough being in the Northeast. I think a lot of people are trying to get out. We've heard a lot about the staycation coming back. We heard about that when we went through the economic downfall and people trying to, save money while still going on vacation. I think that's come back, that staycation. We're in a high populated area. And I think, again, we created a safe environment and people want to get out. They can go to the pool. They can go to a restaurant. They can game a little bit. So our hotel occupancy has actually been tremendously strong. Our rate isn't at the rate that it would be, if we had a big arena show, which obviously is going to drive rate higher from overall demand perspective.
Right. When I was here for the fish shows last summer, I was lucky enough. Now, don't tell you that I'm telling you this. But I heard about it, and I got my room at like a really great rate. As soon as it went live, my buddies were paying like $500-600 a night. Yep. So
we saw that. We saw people like you. We weren't able to adjust as quickly as we can, so you got one over on us.
I know.
Let that happen again.
No, you will not. But I was very proud of myself, and I'm gonna brag about that for the rest of my existence here on this planet. Now we had another question. I can't find it on here, but somebody was asking. There's a lot of regulations between all the different states. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, we're all on the same side. We've all got the same rules. But what about people wanting to come from Massachusetts over to here? Is that an issue?
So, the state of Connecticut is updating their quarantine list.
Wait, could I ask you to just hold on 1 second with that? Because I think Anthony's back with another report.
So I see cows coming to Mohegan Sun. You guys talked about that already?
No, we did not. It should be here by the end of the year.
About that, and then I'll be meeting you back at my seat in just a second. So
all right.
Fall 2020. If you don't know Tao, you got to know Tao.
Right. All right. So we'll talk about Tao in a second, but let's go back to that question real quick.
Yeah. So we're just, as reservations come in, we're not allowing people to quarantine here. It's the 15-day quarantine. We're reminding them of the travel restrictions. And we're following it's really updated on a weekly basis. So as they update states that are part of that quarantine list, we're notifying the patrons as they call to make reservations. We're obviously people travel from all over the country from a high-end perspective. Our premier gamblers And we're following that protocol with them as well. So we take safety very, very seriously here. We're making sure that we're doing the things necessary to not have people traveling and not quarantining from, high risk states.
Right. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, as far as Tao goes, what a great deal that you made with the Tao group to get them over here. A quick little history on Tao. They started in New York City, but you probably know the Tao Las Vegas property. They also own Marquee in Las Vegas. Up until all this stuff, the most profitable nightclubs in the entire world. I think Tao was bringing in something like $60 million a year or something like that in Las Vegas. What are you looking forward to having them here? Are they just going to be a restaurant, or will there be some sort of nightlife element, assuming we can get back to that?
Yeah, so just a restaurant here at Mohegan. Tao Group actually operates 3 of the top 10 most profitable restaurants in the United States from a gross revenue standpoint. So 2 of those are in New York, and then 1 in Vegas, the Tao Vegas, Tao Downtown in New York, and then, Tao Uptown. So, or I'm sorry, Lavo. So, 3 of the top 10 here at Mohegan. We're actually the first location that will be out of a marquee market. So they have New York, Boston, LA, Vegas for their Tao brand, their premier brand, and then Uncasville, Connecticut. So we're really, really proud of, just the partnership and relationship that we've built with them. Our brands have so much in alignment, and we're just looking forward to, adding that world-class restaurant to our property here. It's always been a strategy here at Mohegan Sun to have a good mix of national brands that people recognize, and then a good mix of local brands, that people in the Northeast or in the state of Connecticut, like to attend. And, Tao is going to really take our restaurant offering to a whole nother level.
Excellent. Anthony, welcome back.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. Man, I'm so glad I invested in that gimbal. That really upped the game from when we were at the Garden City Hotel a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and David, you did a good job, director. I just can't say it enough. I feel comfortable. And that's the goal.
That's it.
But you're not only representing Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, United States. You're representing hospitality. Yeah. And if you get it wrong, everyone's going to know. So thank you for all your hard work.
Right. I think, I've been talking a lot about this on, some of the podcasts that I've done and some of the panels. Safety is the most important thing in hospitality right now. We always focus on service and facility and offerings and, a lot of the things that we've always been focused on. How do we create or differentiate ourselves? The only thing that people, the thing that is most important to people right now, and maybe the only thing they care about, is safety. It's second, there's nothing that is more important than safety. It's second to nothing. We're a big believer in, providing world-class service, but I can tell you from, our customer feedback, what we heard directly from our guests, is the most important thing, the number one thing that's going to determine if they're going to return or not, is if they feel safe.
I'll give you an example. If you buy a brand new car, you spend your whole life saving for that car, and then you realize the defect of the car is no seatbelt. Are you getting in the car and driving?
Right. Definitely not.
You're not. So we don't think about the seatbelt. It's second nature. But if it's not there, nothing else happens.
Right. Jeff, I know we gotta wrap up with you. You got to get back to it. After all, it looks like you've got a major resort complex to operate.
So can I answer the question?
Yeah,
real quick. How does someone get to your level? You're not my age. You're a pretty young guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty offended by how much younger you are looking than us.
Yeah, I'm not offended by it. I love it because I still look younger than he does. No, just kidding. How do you tell a person at 20 years old, keep the faith, hospitality is tough right now, but you can be in my position? How'd you get there?
I always tell people nothing beats hard work in anything that you're going to do. I always tell people, students that I get to talk to, is that when you start a job, if you're coming out of college or, even if you didn't go to college, you're just starting out in hospitality, I always tell them to assess who is perceived as the hardest worker in your department or in your position, and you want to work harder than them. And that might mean doing things that you don't want to do. And I always give the story on, early in my career, I never, no one really wanted to work, the late shift or work nights or come in on their day off and pull staples. But those are the things that you want to raise your hand for. And you want to look at your You like doing anything that's asked of you and willing to do anything to help the company to be successful. And it helps you to stand out. And then I would say, think strategically about every position that you're in. Don't be afraid to come up with good ideas and tell your boss or your supervisor, your mentors, about those good ideas. And then the last and probably the most important thing is just be a good person. I always try to tell people that, no one likes to help someone that's a jerk. So, if you don't work hard, if you're not thinking strategically, and if you're not just being a good person, building relationships, trying to be friendly, learning about other people, finding ways to build those personal, strong relationships with both your coworkers and the people that you work for, then you're not going to be successful. If people like you, then they want to help you. And being successful is really about support, guidance, and then help. And then the last thing is just be lucky, right? So you can work really hard, you can be great, you can be friendly, you can think strategically, but if an opportunity doesn't present itself, then you're not going to be able to move up. So I always say, be ready for that luck, though, because when the luck happens, you got to be the person that they're thinking.
I always say preparation, opportunity equals luck.
That's
and
it.
I love what you said, especially about people don't want to help people that are jerks. Because it's like going to the gym. You don't want to go to the gym, but once you go to the gym, you feel better. So when you're around people that are positive, it makes you feel better. So you need more of that drug. When you're around jerks, you're like, I don't want to be that jerk. Like, I want to be around, even if I don't think he's the best at his job, he just makes me feel better.
Right. I think preparation is the biggest thing. Yeah, I always tell people, especially in hospitality, sometimes where, this is a job that can burn you out. One of the things I always say is I never was the smartest kid. I was never the smartest kid in high school. I wasn't someone that overachieved in college. But I learned, as I started my career, that if you are more prepared than everyone else, you are perceived to be smarter, even though you just learned it last night. It's like your teacher. When you're a kid, you believe your teacher knows everything and they're the smartest person that you know. And then you come to find out that in most times, your teacher was creating a lesson plan and learning what they were going to teach you the night before. So I always tell people, be more prepared than everyone else. Learn about the topics. Learn about, whatever your position is. Learn about the history of, your company. And then, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for meetings. Prepare yourself for things that are going to be asked for you. And if you're...
Uh-oh. Bad timing. Oh, well. Hey, there he is. We're losing you, Jeff.
I froze.
Yeah, you're back, though.
Can you see me?
Yeah, now we can. You're back.
So I was just saying, preparation overcomes lack of intelligence, I guess.
Yeah.
Piss poor preparation leads to piss poor performance.
That's it.
Beautiful.
100%.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we'll get to see you in person at some point one day.
Thank you guys for hosting your show here. We're really happy, and we're always here to have you guys back anytime. We hope when we're hosting large events, we're getting back to our core business, you guys can come back and enjoy our property.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Have a wonderful day. Good luck with the rest of your day. Awesome. How cool is that? But our show isn't over yet because we're going to have another great guest in just a second. Anthony?
Do you know what's interesting? I found someone I wasn't expecting to see here.
Yeah. Oh.
You know who it was?
No.
Me.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. This is the guy I used to be.
Right. How nice is that? All right. So speaking of other people, let's bring in our next guest. You know who he is, Mr. Chris Green. Hey, hey, hey. Chris
I can't tell you how happy I am to see you guys out and about. And Anthony, you just kind of quantified what I said the other day. By getting out in the hotels, you find a piece of yourself that you lost.
Yeah. You know what I'm happiest for? Seeing employees work.
Yeah.
Yes, that $600 was cool and helped them get through. But to see the pride, to see them back in uniform, is just amazing. That is what stays with me, to see people working.
More than 4,500 employees have been able to return here. Not the full complement of employees, but a good amount of them. So that's
how
really
impressive is that guy too?
20%.
What was that, Chris?
I said, how impressive is that guy, Jeff? That's a bright guy right there. Great leader.
You know, and Glenn knows, and I know. Go, the guy's freaking young.
But he's been here since 2004, and I think that shows if you could find your way to a great organization that could set you on a career path, then you're gonna be able to thrive within that organization. The thing, because there's not a lot of properties like this in this part of the world.
And look at what he did, though. I mean, when you stay the course, I mean, in hospitality, it's you can jump around a lot. And sometimes people take that path, but staying the course and outperforming your peers is what can get you to the next level and develop loyalty. People at the upper levels start to trust you. They know you're not going to bail when the next $5,000 comes up, and you will get yours.
This is what really stays with me. You have to leave to make more money and get a big position in most hotels. That's what I did. In a hotel like this, you have to deal with different regimes. This president comes in, this vice president comes in, this manager comes in, and you got to deal with that. And a lot of them you like, and some you don't. But somehow you make it through, and somehow you're positive, and you're taking care of people, and you don't get involved in the nonsense, and you accept some of the deficiencies of the organization, because one day when you're running it, those deficiencies will make the company better. And I guarantee you, if I had a beer with him, he could tell me some of those, and he's going to make them better. And that's what I love, because he has historic knowledge that can help the company go forward.
Well, there's always I mean, there's constantly that. I mean, your parents told you, right? The grass is not always greener, but the fact is, the prettier hotel down the street has the same problems that you have. I mean, every one. I can remember I walked through the doors as GM of a new hotel one day, and I think, okay, this is it. And then you're there for a couple of weeks, and you've got the same labor issues or interior building issues, major mechanical issues. They just all have it. So, like you said, Anthony, that institutional knowledge is extremely valuable, and to see him do that and move up through the ranks is extremely impressive.
Yeah. But if I was having a beer and he said I said, what do you do? I'm president of Mohegan Sun. I dropped my beer.
Right. I gotta make an observation here. Chris, I don't think I've seen Anthony this jazzed in many months. I mean, usually people say I'm the loudmouth and I got to tone it down a little bit. I think that we might be switching roles here today. This is pretty impressive.
I'm excited to see employees work. I'm excited to see a young man spend 16 years working his butt off and getting to the top. That is what I live for.
Yep.
That's what you can do. I mean, that's our industry. Like the conversation we had on Tuesday, I started off in the HR office, right? You can do it in our business. You just got to bust it every day.
You know what I love what he said? Because I'm a big fan of that. Mm-hmm. If you're working with me, you better get ready, because I will outwork you. And if you outworked me yesterday, tomorrow you're in trouble.
When am I going to start seeing that on this show?
So
sorry, you got to go for an easy dig.
I guess you guys have seen we're working on the HEALS Act and the HOPE Act and a bunch of CMBS issues that are critical to the broader business climate that we really need. The HOPE Act looks like something that could really help us, helping operating properties endeavor, and that's about getting us through the CMBS crunch and crisis for a lot of the assets, helping to support funding of those assets. So those are things that we need to get done, and I'm hoping they can get done before we get into hardcore election season, because otherwise I think things are going to slow down. And right now is the crunch. So I mean, that's what I've been working on today and yesterday, is analyzing those for our owner, talking to our CFO and our leadership team about how we can utilize them if they become available and are passed. But this legislation is crucial, and I do want to give Chip and the team at AHLA a huge pat on the back. They have been busting it nonstop, and they're getting things done, and they're having our voices heard. We had the Hotel Action Day yesterday, saving our jobs in our industry, and I don't know what the numbers were, but thousands upon thousands of people responded and wrote letters in support of our industry, and that wouldn't happen without Chip and his team over at the AHLA.
Yeah, and I think it's important to recognize, when you have a crisis, leadership matters. And having Chip in this position helps all of us. We had somebody that wasn't as good, wasn't as motivated, wasn't as intelligent, wasn't willing to get on podcasts, news organizations, and have these meetings and tell people how important this is, we'd be in a bigger problem than we are. So he is my new idol.
That guy's awesome. He's a real deal. So.
And let me just throw in a quick show note for those of you who want to learn more about what CMBS is and all the types of financial stuff they really need to understand the backbone of our industry. Check out our show from yesterday with Michael Schindler of Four Corners Advisors. We go all into this in more than an hour type of a show. So it's very in-depth, very detailed, give you a real understanding of what's going on.
Chris, did you see the show yesterday?
Yeah, it was good.
How good was that?
Very good. That guy's smart.
Oh my God.
You could do a whole show, Glenn. We should have a show called The Acronyms of Hospitality. We've got about 4,000 of them. So everybody always wants to know what Smurf is. Nobody else knows what SMERFE is. So you could just really stump people.
Of course. So there's little blue creatures.
We'll save that for the show.
What Smurf is. Tell them what Smurf is. Do you know what Smurf is?
It's one of the sales markets.
Glenn, do you know what Smurf is?
I think it's. I always forget what all the letters stand for. It's like Smurf, sports, meetings.
Goodbye. Go ahead.
I forget.
It's fine. We'll save it for the show. But that would be a good one. We could have all the acronyms.
Tell people.
Social, military, educational, religious, fraternal, and I cannot remember the last E. I always because
everyone else.
Who?
Everyone else.
Everyone else, maybe. It's basically all your social stuff: religious meetings, fraternal meetings, educational meetings,
right? Sports groups, all that. Kind of
sports, all that.
Yeah, and that's the type of stuff that's really been bread and butter business for our industry for the last 10, 15 years or so. So hopefully we'll start to see that come back in the winter time as well. So
cool. Glenn, can I give you a cool stat? I was reading it today from Jan Freitag from Star. Interesting, right? I've already sent it over to our revenue management people to talk to them, but inbound travel from Europe was about 2 to 3 million a month before the crisis. They went down to 40,000 in March, 45,000 in April, so it's very low. However, Adam Sachs from Tourism Economics, he wrote a little piece that says it could be a net positive this year because if U.S. travelers aren't going outbound, even though we're not getting the inbound, there was more outbound from the U.S. than there was inbound from overseas. So if everybody stays home, listen to me, and takes a trip, then you could make a net positive for our industry. So travel safe. You see Anthony and Glenn traveling safe. You can do it.
And we saw you traveling safe, my friend. We did. We've seen a couple of times this week. I'm just thinking back to Gettysburg when you were there just the other day.
And it's important to not accept mediocrity right now. So when you do travel, have high expectations. If you don't get what you need, you got to tell people.
Right.
Because I am on high alert, but I'm very comfortable. And if we don't get this right, we're screwed. So if I tell a manager, hey, a guest wasn't wearing a mask in the elevator, I'm going to believe here at Mohegan, they're going to do something about it. Another hotel, I'd probably leave because I know the manager doesn't care. So we owe it to ourselves and to our managers of the hotels to speak up. Usually I don't speak up. I just walk out. I
don't believe that. Oh.
I don't. Name one. There's not one person watching this show that could say I stayed near a hotel and complained. I don't complain. I just leave.
Well, it looks like Peggy got it right with what Smurf means.
She did.
So, yep. I just saw that now. I was in the private chat room by accident. So this is interesting to me. But the one rub I have, Chris, with the great factoids you put out there, traditionally, foreigners, when coming to the United States, spend a lot more money and a lot more time in the United States than the typical American traveler.
True.
So for Americans to get out there, they really need to spend some time out and spending.
Pick me.
We are picking you, Anthony.
Okay. What did the president of Mohegan Sun just say?
Well, the gaming revenue is up so much. I mean,
so people are going to spend. If they travel, they want to spend. They want to have good times. They need to get out and spend. So you're going to see that average check of a traveler go up.
Right. Yeah. I hope so.
So you have a good point, though, Glenn. I think you have a good point because when they come over, they're staying 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're doing tour stuff and everything else. So I get it. We're going to need more trips and more spend per U.S. household, and we'll have to see if that continues after the economic stimulus wears off. Who knows?
Right. All right. So, everybody in the chat room, do you plan on traveling in the next few months? What type of trip do you think you're going to take? Is it going to be just a weekend getaway or something longer and more meaningful where you're going to spend some money? So, let us know. We'd be curious to poll you and hear what you have to say. Chris, what's your gut thinking with into the fall? I know you're worried about the meetings business, but do you feel that maybe if schools are going to be taking place at home or remotely, there might be opportunities to do more overnight stays or vacations at that time of year?
I do for sure. And I mean, listen, I don't know how many districts now are not going back to school a lot. And I think parents that are going to be both remote, or some of them are half remote, and they're going to be traveling. Why wouldn't you travel? There's going to be deals out there. There's going to be safe places to go, and those opportunities never present themselves. I can tell you, for my family, I've got an 8-year-old, and so she's in the school. But if flexibility, came up in the fall, or I'll be busy, I'm sure, with work, but September, October, it'd be great to be able to go somewhere that you normally can't go in a great season and get a good rate and stay safely with somebody. That'd be a great thing to do. And I do think what you're gonna see is a lengthening of summer across a lot of markets that are not spiking in cases, obviously.
Right. Yeah. So far, very unscientific poll. 2 nopes and 1 weekend getaways and all of that kind of stuff. Anthony, Zulciello wants to know, why don't you complain? Isn't that a great way to let the company know that they need to improve and what you think they should do?
100%. But the problem is, I've been on TV for 10 years.
Right.
When I say something, that employee may get in trouble. I don't want anybody to get in trouble because the guy on TV complained.
Right.
Because it doesn't become about the issue, it becomes about me. So there's a lot of other people that will complain. Normally, before that, I would. Now, I don't want to put undue pressure on an employee and an employee lose their job because I said something.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Makes a lot of sense. Hey, Travis is going to be going to Vegas for 2 weeks, 1 for work, 1 for employment.
Good for Travis.
I love that you're doing that, Travis. Just drink a lot of fluids while you're there.
That's the other thing that might happen, Glenn, is tacking on a trip. Tacking on either bringing your family or tacking on a trip to the end of a small business trip. Because you can be your remote probably working, so adding a few days wherever is fine. I think that this has created an environment where travel can be more flexible, and we need to be flexible too as operators to ensure we're reaching out to those segments and letting them know what our amenities are that help them to extend their stay comfortably, and even bring their family with them. If you're driving, if I'm going on a trip from here to Atlanta and I'm driving, why wouldn't I bring my family if my daughter's remotely schoolwork and my wife's available? It'd be great.
I want to make one note. We talk about comfortable and making sure you can do your job, have fun, but be safe. So I'm inside. I really haven't been anywhere except my house. My producer's 10 feet away. More than that. I don't have my mask on because I'm talking to you, but he has his mask on. I didn't have to say, put your mask on. I appreciate that because that makes me feel safe, and I can talk to you guys and not have to worry that this, he's too close to me. So that's what I'm talking about. Those cues that you shouldn't have to tell somebody. It's like, we know we're inside. You know why I'm talking. Stay away from me. Put your mask on. And then I'm comfortable. I'm enthusiastic. I'm having a good show. It's the person that leans over my shoulder, like the other day, and I almost lost my mind. It's like, what are you doing? That's what we have to do. We have to pay attention to that little things so we can do the big things.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, let's don't go down this road again, but we are starting to see flattening of the new cases, which I'm excited because I think people are starting to behave and finally getting it. And actually, Anthony, I told you, from Jacksonville, North Florida, where I live, we've been insulated for a long time now. We had a spike recently, but one of our major grocery stores, Publix, put in mandatory masks July 26th. And I noticed, I've been doing my mask for quite some time. I did notice, though, that I went the other day, and when I saw somebody without a mask, it stood out. So that's the thing that's happening now is you're standing out if you're not complying. And listen, I don't care where you come down politically. What I care is what you're doing this is what I care about right now is for Chesapeake and for the broader industry, the hospitality industry. do the right thing so we can all get back to life as it was, because this is not, it's like Anthony said, are we in a movie? I feel the same way when I'm on a plane and I look around and everybody's got a mask on, but I'm willing to do it so we can get going. So I'm just pleading with everybody to follow protocol and behave right now and get this thing flattened out and gone so we can get back to what we do best, just taking care of others.
And I don't want to go down that road either, but I have to say this. It took 4 months for people to wear a mask in some places. That's stupid. It's ridiculous. You're an egomaniac. It's all about you. And that to me is frustrating. So yes, it's great, but our economy is screwed for another 8 months. Some asshole went to a supermarket without a mask on. Sorry. I'll go back on my lane.
Yeah, I think GDP dropped 38.5% or something like that in the last quarter. Woo! That's harsh. So everybody, mask up, do the right thing. Colleen is saying at her age, it's difficult for her to travel. I agree with you, Colleen. You do need to be careful. We're starting to get closer to that age as well. And I'll tell you, there's some people here that if I was them, I probably would have stayed home. You know?
Well,
Listen, go ahead.
If I'm 80, I made it to 80 because I've taken some risks, okay? And I've probably taken care of myself. So I can take care of myself, still have a good time, and be safe. There's no reason, unless I have really big risk factors outside being 80, I wouldn't stay home. I know at 80, I'm going, but I'll have my mask on and I'll be safe. So it's not fair that we take a whole community of people and say, stay home. Just be safe. And God forbid you get sick, you know the consequences. I'd rather at 80, 85, go to Mohegan Sun, and God forbid, if I'm writing my ticket, at least I wrote it, and I don't die in my bed lonely. That's just me.
Hey, fair enough. You do have the right to make those decisions, and it's all about what you think is right for you. Me?
But if I was 85 and you sneezed on without your mask on, I'm going to beat you with my cane.
Right. Well, that's, yeah, fair enough. All right. Report back here in 2050. We're going to see me getting a cane beaten. All right. Any other thoughts, Chris?
No, I just think you guys are doing a huge service being out and about today. I think that further solidifies you know that we can get out and do it, and you can be safe doing it, and it helps everybody to see you guys. And I love Anthony's energy today. I can feel the difference, Anthony, and I think you probably can too. It's palpable. So I would say you need to find I would say, hey guys, you need to find another spot for the next week or two and go somewhere else and try it out. So
I love what you're saying. Just it's going to be tough on our wives to hear that we want to keep going places. That's for sure.
Mine seems to want me to go. I don't understand that. So
yeah, that's how my old life to be.
My wife wants me to go. She just doesn't want me to bring anything that she can catch.
Yeah.
So if I went and didn't come back, she'd be cool.
Quick thing from Chad. His statement is fancy designer masks, robes are in rooms, maybe masks in the rooms. Well, as a matter of fact, Chad, well, not here, but when I checked into Bellagio, they gave me a hygiene kit. And part of that were 2 embroidered Bellagio masks. So it was in the Bellagio colors and had a great B embroidered on it. So I see other resorts are doing that too. You've got for your team a special mask too, right, Chris?
We do. We bought masks that have our logo for our entire team, and all of our clients have them, and we're sending them out. It's great. I mean, and they're super comfortable. That's why we continue to buy them. We've found a great mask that's super comfortable, and so people like them. So we just continue to buy them. It's the least we can do for our people is keep them safe.
Right.
You know what I think? Don't tell Chris this, Glenn.
All right, I won't.
But wouldn't it be great at somebody in his company, maybe him, gets a great mask that's comfortable with no vacancy live logo?
I know. Well, Chad is saying we need no vacancy custom masks. We definitely need to figure that one.
Wouldn't that be nice if you came home, opened up a package with Chris's note, and said, guys, I'm going to wear mine, you wear yours, and when we do the show together, we'll start with no vacancy live.
Look,
if I get them, I'm going to get the thing that goes over my hair so I can look like you, Anthony, when I wear it.
I love that idea. All right, let's wrap this stuff up.
Okay.
Anthony, I know you've got a show at 3 that you've got to do, and we got to get out of this bar because I think they're going to open. Chris, any final thoughts before we let you go, sir?
Nah, I'm good. I mean, we're going to be working on business stuff this week. Like I said, all the government acts that they're working on. Also, second round of PPP looks like it might be coming available. That's huge if we can get that done. So a lot of it has to do with that we're in the middle of the trough. I mean, we're still down here. If you look at last week, another Smith Travel graph showed the spiking cases and occupancy dropping again. Globally, so I'm sorry, nationally. So, I mean, we're going to be back in this kind of bottom section for a little while, and it's going to extend, like Anthony said, the pain, and we're going to have to figure ways through the pain.
And what I want people to understand too is the $600 stimulus in the unemployment checks was there for the line employee. The PPP money are there for owners and business owners. And some people that don't deserve it will get it. Okay. I hate that, and we'll figure it out later. Right now, don't get caught up in that. Run your business, go to work, have a positive attitude, and understand these are crucial times. Don't get caught up in that crap. Yes, big business got money that they didn't deserve, and they gave it back, and some didn't. But you know what? A lot of people I know, that $600 check put milk on the table, and that $100,000 kept their business open. So don't get caught up in the headlines. Get caught up in how important that money going back into the economy is for us to start traveling.
Yeah. Listen, the last thing I'll say, Glenn, is this, and it's kind of tagging on what Anthony said. I tell people you can't really, I mean, you need to be intelligent and listen to some stuff, but you need to focus on your sphere of influence, right? My sphere of influence is the Green family and Chesapeake hospitality. That's my sphere of influence. And I need to do what's best and understand what's best for them. And if every business leader will do that for their organization and push forward with a plan that works for their business, we'll succeed together. If we spend all our time worrying about what this person got and this person got and I didn't get, we're going to all fail together. And that can't be the case. We've got to control our sphere of influence and make sure, and that's my people, my team, my masks, my safety, my hotels.
But
we got to do that.
Is also No Vacancy Live.
That's
and
right.
You forgot about us.
I didn't forget.
Didn't mention it.
It's this is your world. I'm just a squirrel.
No. That's where you're mistaken. You add value. That's really important to the show. So your influence is just as important as anyone else's on the show.
Except for Kim.
Right. True. Good point.
All right, guys.
All right, Chris,
thanks.
thank you so much. We'll see you next week back here on the show. Man, that was fun, and I wanna say Chad's loving it. Amazing stuff. Love you are out supporting the industry, and if you guys are interested in doing any sponsorships or working on soliciting programs, Chad is your man.
How do we get in touch with you, Chad? Tell everybody.
Yeah, make a little note in there, Chad. Put up the post, and we'll do a shameless plug for ourselves for once. We're so busy plugging other people, Anthony. We never plug ourselves. Speaking of plugging ourselves, you're watching this show every day, but what if you're out walking the dog? What if you want to, go for a run or something like that? Why not get the audio version of our show? We're posting them daily on the Checking In with Anthony and Glenn feed and on the No Vacancy feeds, so you got no problems there. Check out our audio versions of the show. Also, text the word hotel to 66866 for more great content. I want to thank Mohegan Sun for giving us a great opportunity to broadcast here and for that bomb-ass internet connection. Look how great we look today. Thank you, Mohegan Sun.
Selfie.
I see that. That's pretty great. Anthony, before we wrap up, you got that event going on at 3 o'clock today. You got to tell us all about that.
I will. Why don't you talk about your events so I can post this?
All right, next week, we got another hotel reboot. We're going to be doing that refuel event. We've got great people on that. We've got Forbes Travel Guides going to be on that show. Belinda Chang, a James Beard Award winner, is going to be on the show. We've got a principal from an architecture company that focuses all on this sort of stuff on the show, and Steve Palmer of the Indigo Road Hospitality Company that has got a real high emphasis on F&B. All great sorts of information that's going to help you sell more food, sell more beverages, all of that stuff that you need to make more money. Anthony, 3 o'clock, what's going on?
Yeah, what he said. Facebook Live, 3 o'clock, me and my partner, Jeremy, talking about what it takes to go from a branded hotel to an independent hotel and the decision that you have to make in order for that to happen. And it's really important that every single thing on your checklist is taken care of before you make that move.
Yep. Hold on. Master Pirate, we just started doing YouTube. We've got hundreds and hundreds of viewers on our different channels. We broadcast on my LinkedIn, Anthony's LinkedIn, Anthony's Facebook page, the No Vacancy Facebook page, our Checking In Facebook page, and my personal Facebook page. So don't worry about it. There's many people
I'm
watching.
glad you said that, because people have said that to me before. We have 750,000 unique clicks on our stuff a month.
Yeah.
We're doing fine. But it
so
does
what happens is,
like in some of our outlets, it's like if you look at a TV show and you're on NBC, that's great. But if you're on Netflix, Showtime, HBO, the internet, and Snapchat, you're in good shape. So we're not on NBC. We're everywhere else.
Right, and we're getting thousands of views live, and then tens of thousands of views as the replays go in the first 24 to 36 hours.
But
so
it does make us look stupid when we have 6 people.
I know. So, Master Pirate 774, get your friends to help us build that YouTube channel up. I'm working on it. All right, thank you. We're glad that makes more sense. But we're trying. We want to have hundreds and hundreds of viewers while we're doing live from all of our channels at once. So please share the news of the show, spread the word, and we wish you guys a lot of love and happiness out there. Any final words, Anthony, before we officially wrap this up?
You know what's funny? I'm getting more views and I have a big audience than when I was on national television.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. It's all because of Anthony. He's such a great personality. Guys, it's really all because of you. We love having you here each and every week. Again, thank you, Mohegan Sun. Thanks, Jeff Hamilton. Thanks, Chris Green. We had such a great time here. I can't wait. The best part, Anthony, is I am going to go get some chicken and waffles at Hash House A Go-Go. I'm a very lucky boy.
Oh, you are a lucky boy.
I know. All right, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next